It's Timothy Chaneyfield. He's 42 years of age. But let me show you his picture. This is the preacher. And you go, okay. He's also a child pedophile, a predator. In addition to being a preacher at this church, he's also a chaplain for Compassionate Care Hospice. And if that's not enough, between 2012 and about 2024, he worked for the school system in Polk County. Between 2012 and 2016, he was both a para and a substitute teacher. Then he went into IT, and he worked there until about 2024, and about that time is when he became the lead pastor for St. James. So why do I tell you all of that? Well, because when he was at the schools, he was at Crystal Lake Middle School. We know that he stalks children. How we got into this investigation was simply this. We received a cyber tip from Instagram that there was illicit, inappropriate activity between an adult and a child. It first went to the Auburndale Police Department. They determined this was in the unincorporated area and immediately called us, and immediately we started our investigation. And what we found is that Timothy Chaneyfield went online with a dating app in search of children. And that's what he found, was a 14-year-old child. Did you hear what I said? A little boy. Then they moved from there over to the Instagram app where they chatted more often. And then Timothy Chaneyfield picked him up in front of his neighborhood on 3 different occasions. And on those 3 different occasions, he wasn't preaching, but he was messing around. On 3 different occasions, he drove to the 14-year-old child's neighborhood, where the 14-year-old child met him at the entrance to the neighborhood. Timothy took the 14-year-old to his home, and when he took him to his home, he engaged the child in sex. So when the investigation came to us, we started intensely looking for Timothy, and we found out during this period of time that he was in Baltimore performing, apparently, a funeral for someone through his Compassionate Care Hospice work. He confessed. He confessed that he picked up this 14-year-old child on at least 3 different occasions, took him to Timothy's home in Eagle Lake, where he engaged this child in sex. But that wasn't it. That wasn't all. Timothy is HIV positive. He failed to tell this 14-year-old child that I'm HIV positive, and he had unprotected sex with a child and exposed our 14-year-old victim to HIV. We pray that our work was fast enough, because we got our victim, the 14-year-old, the HIV cocktail, that we stopped this child from being infected. But we have a 26-year-old who said that he engaged Timothy Chaneyfield in sex, and now he is HIV positive. Timothy Chaney is an SS. That's not super sport. That's super spreader. And we fear that there's other victims out there, because he was very aggressive and very adamant about having sex with apparently adults or children. We talked to the members, or some of the members of St. James. They were shocked. They had absolutely no idea their pastor was like that. We also found that he has been an ordained minister since about 2020, when New Mount Zion Church in Haines City ordained him, and then later St. James in Winter Haven selected him to be the pastor. Well, today he's locked up in jail. He's charged with 3 counts of lewd battery against a child. He's charged with infecting or potentially infecting or having sex with, unprotected sex with a child. There's a HIV statute that if you don't disclose you're HIV positive with your partner, that's another criminal charge. He's charged with traveling to meet a minor. He's charged with computer-related charges. He's charged with possession of marijuana. This is a dope-smoking preacher right here in front of you. He's a dope-smoking pedophile preacher right before you. And now he's locked up in the county jail where he should be. He was well respected in the community. People trusted him. They believed in him. And now, well, our plea is, if you've engaged this guy in sex, let us tell you, because he didn't. He's HIV positive. And you need to call us. But the first thing you need to do is run to an emergency room and get the HIV cocktail and pray that you're not HIV positive, because after all, he is an SS, a super spreader. And he doesn't mind that. I want that to resonate with you for a minute. He groomed a child online, drove to the child's neighborhood, picked him up, took him to his home, had sex with him, and if that's not bad enough, never disclosed to the child that he's HIV positive, so I'm going to have unprotected sex with this child and infect him as well. Jesus don't like that. And he'll have to answer for that one day to a court much higher than ours. That he hid behind the cloak. That he used the power and the persuasion of a well-recognized minister in order to groom children and apparently at least one adult. I know there's more out there, more victims we need to hear from, in order to have sex. And all the while hid from them that he himself was HIV positive. He's an evil man. An evil man. And he took advantage of the people at the church, and he took advantage of children, and he was around children up to 10 years at Crystal Lake Middle School in different jobs before he left there. So I want to hearken back to anybody that might have been in a relationship with him as a result of that. We need to talk to you, because we don't want this evil man ever to be outside of prison again. Because if he is, I can assure you that pedophiles don't change their personality or their wants or their needs. So when you want to see a classic example of someone who was well respected in the community, who was well respected at their church, who was well respected by those on their deathbed, and he ruined lives the whole time. Are there any questions?
Sure, with him having access to so many children over the course of so many years, I mean, one of your biggest fears that there are other children out there?
I would be shocked if there weren't other children victims out there. I would be shocked if there weren't other victims out there. He was very active. He was very engaged. In fact, we so worried about this, we actually tried to catch him while he was in Baltimore, because we didn't even want him wandering the streets of Baltimore What all is he up to there? Of course, when we were able to find that he should have been in the airport, the Baltimore Police Department gave us zero assistance. The Bartow Airport Authority gave us zero assistance, but I don't guess we should expect any more from that. The place is a train wreck anyway.
I saw that he was arrested by OPD. I assume he was arrested in CO.
We met him when he got off of the plane with OPD. The Orlando Police Department was perfect. They were spot on. They were game on. They were as outraged with him, and they did a remarkable job. The Orlando Police Department was fantastic. Our detectives in Orlando Police met him. He first went to the Orange County Jail, and then we transferred him to the Polk County Jail. And he confessed to us. Are there any other questions?
Should we seem to have any remorse about?
No remorse. No remorse. This is what he does. This is what he does. He sexually batters children, at least a child that we know of, and we suspect more, and we know an adult, and the adult says, I'm now HIV positive.